It's official. Major League Baseball says the All-Star Game this summer is now going to happen at Coors Field in Denver, Colorado.
It's a tough loss for Cobb County, which was set to host the game until it was pulled over Georgia's new election law. Denver now set to reap the benefits, with the city anticipating a fully sold-out stadium and a $190 million economic boost. Georgia's new law has pitted Republicans against Democrats. On one side, you have supporters saying it expands voting access and increases election security. On the other, you have Democrats and other opponents saying it unfairly targets minority voters. Chanu Her spent the day talking to our political analysts about some of the key provisions here and their potential impacts.
One of the most talked about provisions involving early voting. Georgia's new voting law now requires counties to offer early voting on 2 Saturdays and with 2 Sundays optional. Emory University professor Dr. Andra Gillespie says this significantly increases weekend voting days uniformly across Georgia, since before counties could each make their own rules and some didn't offer as many early voting days on the weekend. But she says she sees why some are challenging this portion of the law.
It's likely not going to be a big metro Atlanta county, but will there be a small county at some other place in the state that chooses not to have Sunday voting? And then the big question will be, well, what's the motivation behind not having Sunday voting in this particular area, whether or not that's targeted towards perceptions of African-American voting behavior.
Another aspect of the new law, you can only request an absentee ballot between 11 and 78 days ahead of a general election or runoff. And you'll have to verify your identity, like, for example, by sending in a copy of your photo ID with the application or including your driver's license number. You'll have to do the same when you submit your absentee ballot, replacing signature matching.
If it doesn't get enjoined, there will be studies that look at whether or not there's a disparate impact, and whether or not certain groups, particularly racial and language minorities, are the groups that would be adversely affected.
And a portion of the law that has become a hot button topic, not allowing people to hand out food and water to others in the voting lines. There's already a federal statute that bars people from exchanging goods and services for votes, but in the past, people have sidestepped this by offering food and water to everyone on site and not just voters. The new law makes it a misdemeanor if you're caught.
The only people who can pass out food in a line are poll workers. There are provisions in the bill that say that if lines are long in one election, that the local election authorities need to split up that precinct.
Coming up on 11 Alive News at 6 o'clock, Dr. Gillespie goes through 3 more provisions of this new law, including one that affects voting hours.